I saw going down on Twitter, Dave Portnoy, who owns Barstool Sports, is having an all-out brawl with the New York Times, and I'm here for it all day long because I really like him, and I really hate the New York Times.
So Dave Portnoy, who is the face of Barstool Sports, he's built this empire out of it. Barstool Sports, for folks that are listening that don't know, is like this entertainment, sports, politics, sort of, but pop culture-y multimedia empire, podcast, YouTube, website, everything. It's huge. And so the New York Times wrote a real hit piece on him. So the New York Times, this is the headline. It's about Dave Portnoy's ostensibly connection to sports betting and advertising and promoting the industry, which kind of makes sense. It's a sports-focused media empire, and they do ads for sports betting. So does the BBC, sports podcasts, and basically everyone these days. This is the headline from the New York Times. Desperate for growth, aging casino company embraced degenerate gambler. This is by reporter Emily Steele. The subheading is David Portnoy, who has a history of misogynistic and racist behavior, is now a public spokesman for the sports betting industry. So I went through and read this article, and it's like a weird focus on who cares if he promotes sports betting. It's a sports media company. That makes sense. And literally everyone is promoting sports betting now. I get ads for it all the time. There's tons of money in it. I don't think that's I probably wouldn't want to promote it, to be honest, because it's gambling and that can be addictive. But whatever. This focus on Dave Portnoy is weird. And then this was such a hit piece because there's this one paragraph, that subheading, racist and misogynistic comments, is substantiated with one single paragraph with 3 examples from his decades-long career. And the one where she claims that he said some women deserve to be raped. I went and looked at the blog post that he cited. He obviously, I'm sure he wouldn't say this again the same today, but it's like from years and years ago, he wrote a joke very clearly, humorously, saying, I never condone rape, but if you look like that good in skinny jeans, you're asking for it or something. Don't say that, dude, obviously. But to say that he actually believes some women deserve to be raped based on the basis of that in poor taste joke from however many years ago where he was clearly not being serious is a total mischaracterization and hit job. And you're like picking a couple controversial things from a decades-long broadcaster to paste them as a racist and misogynist. And then the most shocking part of this is that she says that she reached out to him for comment and he didn't give her any answers. And he responds and is with the receipts and is like, that's not true.
Wow. I mean, this has been an ongoing campaign in the media, though. They really hate him. And I'm like, who did he make mad? Because there was also, like, earlier this year or last year, I think, there was, like, a Me Too campaign kind of coming for him. And they were, like, revealing that he has, like, some weird sex stuff that he does. But it was all consensual. Like, nobody was alleging that any of it was forced. It's like, okay, if he wants to, like, pee on women in beds or whatever they were accusing him of, I'm just throwing that out. But, like, who cares? Like, why is this a news headline? What people do in the privacy of their bedrooms? And it's the left doing it, trying to police these bedrooms of consensual interactions. And I just don't understand it. I've thought it was a weird kind of campaign against him for some time. Like, I don't love everything on Barstool Sports. Like, of course, some of it's crass and some of it's like, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's like sexist or misogynistic, but is it like edifying to women? No. But like, I mean, I'm just so tired of this like Karen culture. Like, let him live. Let people enjoy this kind of entertainment if that's what they like. Like, this is just absolutely absurd. And to what end, right? Like, there is no actual agenda here other than trying to take him down and make him look bad for whatever reason. You just don't like him, and so you're going to write a hit piece about him. And then you're going to lie about whether or not he actually responded. Like, to me, the New York Times runs around trying to act like they're this stalwart of journalism. They're this, like, pillar of truth and accountability and research and, like, investigative journalism and intellect. And it's like, no, you're not. You're actually as shoddy as, like, TMZ. They lose all credibility when they do this kind of thing. Actually, yeah, TMZ is more credible.
He posted this whole receipts of their conversation, including where he essentially says that she was reaching out to 39 women, asking them for dirt on Dave, and all of them were like, nah, I don't really have any, and then told him, and she was asking them very leading questions, clearly pushing a certain agenda. And then also, he agreed to do an interview with her, and his only condition was, I just want to record it. And then she backed out and she never interviewed him for the story because she was unwilling to go along with video and audio being recording of it. And I have to say this. First off, as a journalist, I always record my interviews so that if anybody disputes what they said, I can have the receipts. Why is she unwilling? Like, seriously, that is so, as a journalist, incredibly sus that you are unwilling to conduct an interview where there will be a record. Like, why? Are you going to mischaracterize? You know you're going to mischaracterize things or misquote things? Like, that to me was really bad for her. But so we're not going to go through and read all these comments, but like this, and then she just tells him you need to, and he told her that her story has so many factual inaccuracies, it's laughable. And he refused to fact check the piece for her. And they just ran with it and said he didn't give answers. And now it's really, it's just really, yeah. And of course, these losers at the New York Times, and I hate to call them that, but they claim that they gave him an opportunity to speak. And I'm like, yeah, you did, but then you said he couldn't record it. And so he wasn't going to do that and let you misquote him. And then he did send her all sorts of replies and information, very little of which, if any, was included in this story. So, look, I think the New York Times does some really good reporting sometimes, but then there's so many woke activists just doing terrible work that, like, this is supposed to be news. This isn't some opinion columnist, right? Like, and they're just doing these transparent hit jobs. I'm sure, you know what? I don't know everything about Dave Portnoy. There may very well be legitimate reporting critical of him to be done. But this ain't it. This is not it. And this was such a bad look for the Times. But more people need to be combative like this when they know a hit piece is coming on them. And bring the receipts. He posted a video scrolling through the replies, showing the messages for all to see. And they claimed it was selectively edited because there was one message at the end that he didn't include that's from another time period. That's not they're acting like it's a fake video just because he didn't include one message. Like, anyway, bring receipts. And these journalists, like, if I get requested for comment from one of these sources, now I am very hesitant to talk to somebody from some of these places because I have seen them do hit jobs on many people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I pretty much have a policy of not responding to the mainstream media, or if I do it through like a spokesperson or like, you know, different like group that I'm working for. If they want to have like their people respond, I'm just like, I don't see the point. I think they're often disingenuous. They do a lot of hit pieces. They misconstrue information. Like, they're just not trustworthy, and this is why they will die and base politics will take over.